While I was kind of in between jobs as well, built the water pump for the tender. One of those little jobs that you really enjoy doing. I did deviate from the plans for the body. I used hexagonal bar. I see what only stuff I had about the right size knocking about, and I changed the bracket that holds it down. Instead of going all the way through body, I just built a simpler bracket that the X bar could sit onto, and then just put a little bit of brass plate on the top to hold the arms that operate the pumps. I've tried it out and it actually works rather well. It pumps a fair old bit of water, so I shall offer it up to holes in tender base and drill the bracket and fit that, no doubt. Couldn't find any countersunk rivets anywhere for the tender side, so I'm going to make my own. First I've softened the copper rivets up, then I've made a little jig just to have a piece of angle. I've put a hole in that the rivet will just sit into. Then I stick the rivet in the countersunk hole on the tender side, like that. Put the bottom of the rivet through the hole on the little jig I've made, and then just belt the top with a hammer. And there we go, countersunk rivet. I've soft soldered all tender together, and it's turned out a really nice job. The pump's into place. Next thing to do now is make the spirit tank. I've cut the parts out, a couple more holes to drill. I shall bend the side walls of the tank, rivet them together, and then I'll solder it up, soft solder again. But it's a nice, satisfying little job, is the tender. Well, I've finished the tender, got the water pump in place, then I've made the cover for the water tank, and there's the top for that. Also underneath I've got the spirit sump in place, and then where the water comes out of the tank I've made a little union nut to connect the pipe. The handrails on the rear of the tender is just some 1.6mm brass bar I've used, bent those round. But the front ones, where they've got handrail knobs, to make the handrail knobs I've used 1.5mm split pins, and that seems to work really well. Finished the spirit tank, so that fits in place. What I did do, like a fool, I put my rivets out front so you can see that. So what I thought I'd do, I made a cover that goes up at the top of the spirit tank and covers the front. And there you go, You've got the coal hole, toolboxes. I'm going to stick some coal on top of there, and there's enough room underneath to adjust the drain cock on your spirit tank. So there we are, tender finished. So when you get up to the train, as far as I've got, it's actually starting to take shape. Also, I started making the cab for the train.